All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Stacia Kennedy, and welcome to the Real Estate Investment Strategies Group. Or if you are somewhere else on the internet, make sure to subscribe and make sure to join our group. My name is Stacia Kennedy. I'm the marketing director here at Real Estate Funnel Systems. And today I'm really excited to introduce to you one of our team members, Jeff Fallon. He is actually been a real estate investor himself, marketing, buying, rehabbing, property manager. He's pretty much done it all. And he's also an accomplished speaker on mindset, motivation, and business development, over 20 plus years of experience. Welcome, Jeff.
What's up, Jeff?
Hello. Thank you. Great to be here. Appreciate that awesome intro, Stacia. Humbled. Wow. Make me feel old with all these years of experience. Jeez.
He's also known as Mr. Positive, but I'll let him introduce himself, or actually let Eric actually explain, how did you guys meet?
Well, yeah, I just really want to quickly say welcome Jeff to the group and introduce Jeff to the whole team here in the group as just an awesome guy. And like Stacia said, we know him as Mr. Positive because he has always been just that. He takes I know him as a professional coach, real estate coach, performance coach. That's how I know Jeff. And through that lens, though, the compliment that he gets all the time, whether it's from us coworkers or from the clients that we all work with, was Mr. Positive. And he just embodies that all the way through. And that's his coaching style. And it's really always gravitated with, or landed with me, I should say. And so whenever I have my chance to surround myself with Jeff and his insight and mindset, man, I'm in always. And so, Jeff is an awesome team member. He runs our sales here at Real Estate Funnel Systems, and just an all around great guy. So I wanted to introduce him to the group and really just kind of let Jeff wind him up and let Jeff tell his story and really kind of talk about the mindset. Like we're all going through this right here, right now. We're all here together. So I appreciate everybody being live with us, and let's hang out with Jeff for a minute. Jeff, give us a little story here.
Oh man, you guys are so kind. Awesome. Well, I'm honored to be here and work with you too, and a daily, weekly basis, and just creating some awesome stuff for investors all across the US, Canada, and as we even expand internationally with the plans that we have here. And I'm just super excited. And, been waiting for this day. It's been in the making here for probably a couple months. But, hey, no time but the present. As we all got a lot of time to really get a lot of things done that are on our list. And, again, I just really want to appreciate and recognize anyone who's watching this video. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time and attention, as I don't take time lightly. I know it's one of our most precious commodities, if it's not the most important one. And, I really, it makes me smile when I hear the positive reference and the little nicknames that we all get from different things that we accomplish. And I'll tell you what, Eric mentioned a little bit with the climate we're in. We're obviously, as a worldwide epidemic, dealing with the coronavirus. It's going around and it's impacting everybody. And, I caught a couple of the stats this morning on CNN where the numbers are globally in U.S. And I just want to say a quick, condolences and prayers and, positive vibes to anyone out there affected and that's battling right now, to really just, just you're in our thoughts. That's all I can say. I think about people, whether they're, family, friends, colleagues, or just even someone I haven't met. You're a human being. And so my compassion goes out to you and your family on this situation. And, I was invited and we talked about, hey, what can we do during this? We're all trying to work and stay productive and stay busy with these new at-home schedules. And, I'm like everybody else. I'm human too. I go through a couple ups and downs, and I really focus my best to stay on the up, if you will, even through these kind of, challenging times or curveballs, as I call them. And I'll tell you what, gang, it takes work. Yeah. It takes conscious work to be, positive or find the silver lining in any, situation. is something that I've really worked or trained at. And, some people have it naturally. Maybe it was from their parents. They were just born in a perfect world per se, but we all know that's not out there as we're living in this situation, as I mentioned. So here, I'll give a couple tips, and yeah, I'll probably layer in a little story here and there to answer Eric's question and how we all got started. And, real estate came in my life, gosh, when I was 21 years old. I just wanted to make a better life for my future and leave a legacy and not rely on a job. I remember I was like 24 when I first got laid off, and I felt more sorry for the other workers that I worked with than myself, because they were married with kids at the time. And I thought, oh my gosh, what if that was me? And that's how real estate really appealed to me as a young person, to create passive income, have multiple properties, and have tenants help pay that off and gain equity. It just seemed to make sense as far as one of the pieces of the pie to retire early. I didn't want to go on to work 30, 40, 50 years and then have 65 years old, the retirement age. I wanted to retire a lot earlier so we can travel or play golf, one of my passions, to get outside type thing. But here's what I'll share, and as far as some content, some tips, if you will, some takeaways from our time together. I know it's only going to be about a 30-minute live here. And so, again, I want to make the best of it and really give whatever tips and tools that I've been taught or showed and apply daily. And so here we go. One of the things that works for me and mindset is right from the second you wake up. Literally every morning, from the second you open your eyes, there's something I've been, again, taught, and it took a while to get into my daily routine, or what I call ritual, and it is right away into gratitude. If you saw, just mentioned 5-10 minutes ago here that I am in complete gratitude about being invited on this program and sharing any insight that may help one or two or three or four. Awesome. I've done my calling, if you will. Hopefully it'll impact a little bit more than one or two. But the point being is it's right into a peace of mind of I'm appreciating whatever's good in my life, whatever's great in my life, whatever's fantastic, fabulous. And I'm going to put those kind of words right into my psyche. And I'm going to get up from that type of mindset. And right away, I make sure I put my phone away from my nightstand so I get out of bed. I used to have it near my bed, and I learned that I would spend 30 minutes checking email or checking Facebook or YouTube or whatever it was, and I'm laying in bed longer than I should. I said, whoa, I got to get rid of that habit. So maybe some of you could relate with that. I don't know. On a day off, I've even saw that it was longer than 30 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder. And now we can all relate in this quarantine. I've seen the jokes going around where people are in pajamas all day long and they're like forgetting what day it is. Believe me, we all can relate with that scenario of a new lifestyle if we're all going through. But again, to get back to being, a high performance, productive professional is what I've been groomed and conditioned to do. And a couple of these tips are the foundation, if you will, of how that happens and maintains a consistency. And the bottom line is, okay, right from gratitude, I go into moving my body. I start stretching. I've been into health and fitness and sports since a little guy, teenager, and all that kind of active activities. And I want to stay young forever. I'm going to have a big birthday later this year, and the big 5-0. And so I've been maintaining stretching and like a yoga routine, if you will, every morning and every night. And then that's in combination with 3 days a week where there's definitely a workout routine, 90 minutes, 3 days a week. But I digress. So I'm moving my body. I'm getting the blood flow is the whole point. Stretching and whatever else. If you do a morning workout routine, great. And then after that, boom, I'm taking a hot shower. On top of that, I've already had some music going with the workout, the stretching, or the hot shower. So music that you love, I put a playlist together, your favorites, songs that get you pumped up, whether it's rock and roll or rap or something in between. Choose it and play that playlist, at least 5 days a week to get you fired up. And so what I do before I get on the phone with any client or, partner, whatever it may be in real estate or coaching, or, I've got a couple different specialties, and I'm getting my mind right first before I go out and talk with society, if you will, whether it's, again, even family, friends, or clients, business, etc. And so I call that Jeff time. The first hour I wake up is Jeff time. And so I'm also eating a nutritious meal, probably some oatmeal or fruit or whatever that may be, some eggs. And then boom, I've got Jeff, quote unquote, ready. I'm ready to get in the game before I talk with anybody. And that's just a little bit of a glimpse of what happens like first thing in the morning, literally the first hour of every single day. And a little bit of the night one is, the 10, 15 minutes before I go to sleep, same thing. I grow into a gratitude state of mind. Some people call it prayer or, talking to higher power, whatever that is in your life. Okay, great, go there. And there's a lot of other things that people use and leverage, and I'm all for it. Whatever works for you, because we're all different, but I would stack the deck in your favor to ensure that you could have the best possible, attitude, and, that's going to have a ripple or trickle effect into all your relationships. And so again, I appreciate you guys with that introduction, and being positive is something, as you can see right there, a daily conditioning that does take some consistent practice for it to have or evolve into, a nickname or something like that. And hey, I'll own it. I've done a lot of personal development seminars and workshops, and even been a trainer, facilitator for some of them. And I love it. I love a lot of that. And books and CDs and audios and podcasts. We've got all this stuff at our fingertips here. And so I am definitely a student of the game, but here's the key. I apply it and I take action. So I would recommend that to anybody that's listening to this. And, I'll just stop there for a little intro, and maybe we'll go to a different topic here with our time left.
I just want to and elaborate. Like, it's funny you brought up something when you were talking about your routine that I found really interesting. And a lot of us have heard this before, right? This isn't, might not be the first time you've ever heard, to have a good structured routine. I think, but it's always a fresh reminder when you hear it being applied all the time, because I do portions of that, but not all of that. And listening to you, I was like, and one thing you said was music, and music is important. It's just before we got on this live, I was telling Stacia, we connected here and I had music going, and it was loud, and Stacia's like, "Whoa, you jamming, huh?" And yes, I was jamming, and yes, I was getting in a good mood, and yes, that was part of being positive. But I was reflecting on, I hadn't been listening to music lately over the last 3 weeks. I don't know if it's a coronavirus. I don't know if what it was, but I realized just kind of today, subconsciously, like, music has just the flow of music and the feeling and the beat of music has been absent. And so I turned it on, and then you mentioned it here, and I was like, man, it's true. It's all of these pieces really do matter. And so, man, thank you for the quick reminder. I could probably do a little bit more stretching as well, but it's really, really, it's a great routine. Stacia, do you have any routines that you do in the morning?
So, well, Joe asks what kind of other personal development have you done, or it sounded like you adopted Tony Robbins. I definitely agree, by the way, of speaking for myself, about the gratitude, though. That's definitely something I need to get back into, and journaling, making sure that I have my mentor calls it really appreciation, but pretty much the same thing.
That note, real quick, because it's so important, and something that I was kind of like, I've been journaling for years, this and that and the other thing, but the gratitude that you talked about right in the morning, Jeff, is like, that's a special moment to do it. It's that's way different than doing it at 2:00 because you got it off your checklist. Like doing it at that moment that you talked about is a really special. You're setting the tone, right, for the rest of the day, is what you were talking about. And I have a little app here on my phone. It's called Grateful. It's a Grateful app, and when you tap it, the intention of this app is that you just enter in what you're grateful for, and it keeps just a grateful journal. And so there's it's a simple app that has a big impact because it reminds me when the first thing I wake up to tap that app and to go through that gratitude exercise. So if anybody finds that useful, the Grateful app on the iPhone, probably on Android as well. But anyways, that's awesome. We can all improve here. That's cool. Jeff, thank you.
Yeah, I'll just share. I saw a question come up, and it was like a Tony Robbins, and you know what? There is a little Tony in there. There's a little Jim Rohn. There's a little Zig Ziglar. There's a little T. Harv. There's a little Gary Vee. There's a little Grant Cardone. There's a little bit of everybody in these daily routines. I'm telling you. But Tony was one of my favorites when I was younger. I read that book when I was like 19, 20, before I discovered real estate. It said, "Awaken the Giant Within." How to take complete control of your financial, emotional, and all this, and I was like, wow, a 500-page book. And I wasn't a big reader in high school, B student, got through in college, okay, great. But man, that was the first big book I read from cover to cover. It like grabbed me by the jugular and I couldn't put it down. And then of course, like I said, I progressed into his CDs, and every time I drove to my corporate job when I was younger, I was listening to and from, and I almost felt like the day I went to Tony Robbins, one of his UPWs, like 5 years ago, which was a long time in between reading his book and actually going to a live event with him personally. I felt like I knew the guy because I've heard him so many times or read. I go back to that book a lot at different stages of your life, different things that are applicable. And so, yeah, he's just one of my favorite speakers too. He's high energy. The fact that he can hold 10,000 people in tension for 12 hours, much respect. And so if I could take any kind of little pieces to apply that to my career or as a coach, trainer, and again, accountability partner. So what you were talking about, Eric, is funny. Like I like to be one of these trainers that walk the walk, talk the talk. Mm-hmm. And not just from the day I wake or the second I wake up, but literally through a lot of my professional or business life. And that's how I evolved into becoming a coach, trainer, and then eventually a speaker and facilitator. Because number one, I love helping people. Period. That came from a sports background and martial arts background where I was on a lot of teams, and you had to really just do your best to win either first place or the championship. And that early on created the DNA of like just striving for peak performance. And then you get into it from a professional realm and you put it all together with, determination and discipline and focus and never give up attitude and put that positive spin on it with what we're talking about. You've got some good ingredients there to probably equivalent, whatever industry you're in. As long as you show up, they say that's 70, 80, 90% of the game. And so I was very adamant about showing up at my best possible self. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that's very apparent. So let me ask you, as you go in and you coach a lot of people through not only just real estate, you coach entrepreneurs of all industries. And so what are the things that you like? How do you spark that and pass along that Jeff Fallon, Mr. Positive, to the other people? Like what is it that you do with your students that kind of encourages that?
Oh, great question, Eric. And I'll tell you a couple different things because everybody's a little different. And as I've worked and, I've completed, I think, almost 6,000 coaching calls worldwide. And so first of all, that just gains a lot of experience, a lot of conversations and a lot of partnerships. Usually it might be husband and wife or brother and sister or best buddies in college, whatever it may be. And the bottom line is, to answer your question, is listening. I really had to train myself on how to become not a good listener, a great listener, and really hear what people are saying or, having troubles with and find solutions and, come up with the latest and greatest, not just a tip or technique, but an actual solution to whatever they're challenged with. Because a lot of my clients were, real estate investors in the first couple of years, but I found that, we were together for like a 6 or 12 month period. Within call 2 or 3, I had to become a life coach. is what I found. Just listening to people with challenges, or as I mentioned earlier, curveballs that came into their life, whether it was starting a business or being brand new in an industry. There's a lot of little things that make different people tick. And so learning different personality types was very helpful. I know you've trained in what's called NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which is, again, something that Anthony Robbins has, definitely mentions in his trainings, and you could take that to a whole nother level. And just really communication. I got into sales and communication, and I like people. Is the other thing. I mean, my dad was an extrovert. My mom's an extrovert. I think I'm one of those people person type people. And the bottom line is, I lead with the heart and again with the head. So it's like, my emotions are on the sleeve, and I relate with a lot of people from all the different things I've been through in life over these 45 plus years in the world. And I care. I care is the bottom line. Wherever they're at in their journey in life, I want to help take them from, not just point A to B, but also C, D, and beyond. And so that drives me. And, it's been awesome. I've had a lot of great feedback from different types of people and different countries. And I'm just honored to do my part here while I'm on planet Earth. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, you're doing an awesome job, and we're all honored for that. And so, like, how do you pull this into right now? Like with we're all on various levels of quarantine. Here we are in California. It's been, it feels like year 2 of quarantine, and it's like piling up, man. You gave a great morning routine. I'm sure that applies now, right? Obviously, is there anything else like? Just I don't know. For me, I feel like I'm carrying just more weight right now. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's not like a negative thing necessarily. It's, there's tremendous opportunity here. I'm very optimistic and excited about, the moment of where we're at, and I got a lot of respect for it. But I feel the weight. Right. So how does that, what do you say to that? And what do we do here with that?
Yeah, good, great. Again, another great question. And there's so many different ways to take that and answer. And if you asked 100 people that question, you're going to get 100 different answers and beyond, And so I'll just bring it back to this is, as again, a professional or even personally, I'm going to plug into this worldwide epidemic to be informed. But I'm not going to let it run my life. And so what I've been coached and trained from my mentors is to put up healthy boundaries. I'm going to watch it enough to be informed. I know the numbers. I know what's going on. I've taken all the precautions, my family, my friends, everyone doing the same thing. I've been home just like everyone else. I haven't gone out. I got the mask on if I go out in the front yard, etc. But the bottom line is these healthy boundaries is you have a choice at what you stay plugged into or tune into. And the news is something I haven't watched for years. I watch the financial channels just to get a general idea of business going on because I talk to a lot of business professionals. And again, I get a lot of my news before the corona hit from clients. When I'm on the phone with clients and I do a once, twice, or 3 times a month call once a week, hey, what's going on the first minute or two? Hey, have you heard about this, Jeff? And I'm like, no, actually I didn't. What's up? What happened? There was a tornado in Kansas or something. I'm like, oh, okay. I just don't plug into negativity is the bottom line. Again, something I learned from a while ago. And then having those healthy boundaries and honoring them, respecting them. So again, I'm not clueless. I don't have my head in the sand. But the bottom line is I definitely am feeding the brain a lot more. If it's positive, yeah, great. I mean, when I'm on my Facebook or Instagram for that 20, 30 minutes, 2-3 times a day, I've got a lot of positive people I am, following or follow me or vice versa. And usually they're very inspirational posts. And so, I found over the years, if you're a chronic complainer or negative Nancy, they call it, I get the 3 strikes rule. If you post negative 3 times in a row, we're probably going to not be friends for too much longer. Because when I do only have that time to go plug it into my feed, I don't want to see complainers or negativity. And again, I'm just being raw, real, authentic, transparent, whatever you want to call it. That's the only way I know how to operate. And That's just the simple truth of it. And the other part of it too, Eric, just to give a little more structure to it, is goals. I mean, again, Tony Robbins, it really taught me how to learn, make goals at 19, 20 years old. And again, whether it's personal, professional, both. And, I got a lot of different techniques I've learned over the years, and the best of the best in, goal setting and how to really, have that. And I've got a couple accountability partners that hold me to. And all I could encourage during this time is to stick to that routine. I think it's even more important, as I joked earlier about people in pajamas all day long. Well, out of these 3.5, 4 weeks, have I done it? Yeah, I did. Again, I'm 100% transparent. I got sweatpants on and I'm like, what the heck? I'm taking a shower at, 7, 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, you have to shower at least once a day, get on this quarantine process, right? Whether it's 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. And it's like, holy cow. So it's very rare it's a 7 p.m. But anyways, you get my point. It's like, well, just, again, lock in. I've got some people that are in a 4:30 a.m. club that they post every day a picture of themselves because they're up rolling at 4:30. Now, me, I know my power zone is a more like 9 to 9 person. I'm not really that great at 6 or 5 in the morning. And so I know that, but I can go second, third shift even. So I'm more of midday, later day. And again, I'm on different time zones with people all over the world. So that's where I've got to hone in certain power zones of energy, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But again, having those goals and again, some foundational structure and accountability partner. So again, my humble opinion, when I was a kid, people had a negative vibe or association with if you had to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I remember when my parents got divorced, I was like 10, 11 years old, and I was going to a counselor. And that seemed taboo, like you kept it on the DL because you're going to talk with somebody. And I was like, as we got a little older, those titles turned into coach or life coach or business coach and advisors and strategists, whatever you want to title it. I'm not big into titles, but you get where I'm going with that. And the bottom line is, I think everybody needs a coach or a consultant or a therapist or whatever the title is, because life is challenging. Life is tough. And, some people have a family member or a best friend that they can confide in or get motivated or inspired from, but some don't. And again, that's where, I've been fortunate enough to make a living for almost the last 8, 9, 10 years now as that person for many, many people out there. And I love it. I just love helping people, bottom line. I live to give, one of my little mottos.
That's cool. It fits you, that's for sure.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
I like that. So we have a question here. This new world is going to lead a lot of more opportunities, like you said. What crystal ball to tell you where's the hot spots? Where should we be focusing on? Where's real estate do you think is going to adapt in the future?
Man, awesome question again, Joe. Awesome, great. Well, what do I see with everything going? What was funny is as I drink a little water, it's like, stay hydrated, everyone, stay healthy. Everyone went running for toilet paper. I was more worried about this, like good water after I don't know how many weeks or months. I'm like, I know the body is 80, 90% water. I'd rather have water. I mean, I grew up in a, blue collar Midwest and from Chicago, and my buddies and I, we would go like what we call behind the tracks, the woods. And there was, a bunch of fun stuff for young guys, we're high school age and we just became very resourceful. I wouldn't be home for 10, 12 hours. And, a couple dollars in our pocket for whatever little beef sandwich for lunch. But man, we would just go out. And so like everyone grinding it in the coronavirus, it almost seems a little easy. I've been working from home as a professional for almost 4 or 5 years now. So not much is different in my routine and that structure I was talking about earlier. But I'm glad the real estate came up here towards the end of our live, because I'll tell you what, it's going to create opportunity, gang. I've been in real estate a long time, and I remember when I first learned it 20 plus years ago, is that we are solution providers for people that have to move on to a next stage in their life. A lot of times a real estate sale or opportunity that I would take on where I'm buying it at a wholesale price is created because of someone else's unfortunate situation. And, it might be a death in the family, probate, we call it, or even a divorce that happens. They have to sell the asset and go separate ways. We come in and offer, price, 3 different offer type system here. And it's all win-win-win for the person that's, moving on, like I said, to a different stage in their life. And then there's also like disease and disaster that causes these opportunities in the marketplace as far as real estate. And whether you're in California or New York or somewhere in between, the crystal ball, as we all heard for the last 10 years, that we've been on this kind of uptick. And it's up, up, up. We've had a great run for a long time since 2008. When the mortgage industry kind of imploded and we had a lot of new rules and regulations. So it's been going great ever since. But people, again, some of those negative Nellies are like, oh, the bubble's coming, get ready. And so some people did. And, I think what's going to happen is this is going to separate the tire kickers, or the amateurs, I call it, versus the pros. I've been through a recession before. And even when I first got started back in the 90s, again, I'm dating myself. Oh, well, that is what it is. And, there is going to be opportunity. Obviously, the government, though, has stepped in like we've never seen before with stimulus, and where they're getting the money from, I don't know. I guess we're just going to go further into trillions of debt. But seizing the moment, people need resources. People are at home. The rent's due, mortgage due, gas, utilities. We all have come accustomed to this type of lifestyle. And the bottom line is, after the stimulus is gone, I don't know how many people are going to still be able to, utilize or even get those monies. But let's say 6 months from now or a little further out, give or take, there's going to be some people in some situations that they just might be forced to sell that property at a little bit of a discount so they can cash out. And myself, our team, we generate leads of motivated sellers every day of the week. And so some people just might be falling in that category, sad but true. And again, we're never going to try and take advantage of somebody. We create fair win-win deals on both sides of the spectrum. A lot of times these houses have been let go or run down. We've had hoarder houses and houses full of mold. And so what happens there is we turn the ugliest house on the whole block, if not the subdivision, into one of the best properties in the entire subdivision. And everyone loves it because we bring appreciation and home values up. So, and I can go on and on about the benefits of again, taking a property that's been, run down or ignored or just completely not updated. And so that's what we love to do. I love the before and afters, of homes that are beat up and run down, and then we make it sparkle and beautiful, and then a new family gets to move into that property and create lifetime memories for their life. And so I get very proud of that whole process as far as being a key member of that whole team, and that fires me up to make those phone calls, and that's where. I thought this was going to come up somehow someday. It's like, Jeff, how do you stay motivated to, make calls or cold calls or warm or hot leads, whatever you want to title them. And it's just because I've been taught and trained from the beginning. It's called sorting and sifting. I'm just sorting and sifting all day long. And when I find someone that is interested to talk and motivated to make a move as far as, again, maybe they might be moving out of state or for a job or whatever it is, we come across all these different scenarios. And I'm ready to help out. I'm ready to create an offer that could be a win-win situation for both them and our team. And let's move on accordingly. Bottom line.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think I answered 3 or 4 questions there. I'm like, did I answer the question?
Yeah. And, just to elaborate, this is going to be a time of opportunity, no doubt about it. And there's, if you've ever heard the term land rich, cash poor, that's a scenario out there where people have equity tied up into a house. They may have lost their job. They can't qualify for a refinance. They need money to live on, and they have $100,000, $200,000 stuck in an asset and their house or whatever. And so, selling that house will free up the cash that will then make the next stage of their life, open up and give the breath to the scenario. And that is a very common, real scenario that's around us all the time. And so just understanding that's going to be happening, that people are going to need to get a hold of their capital and sell an asset to do so, to grab that equity that they had been, saving up for and everything else. Hey, this is what's going to be happening. So, and not just that, but that's just one example of what we're going to be seeing for sure. So, stepping up and treating people right and creating win-win transactions and helping people through this transitioning time it's our job. And I have a lot of pride, just like Jeff does, around it. So, I think right now is a time to be studied up. This is the time to be sharp. This is the time to make sure that you are fit to serve the opportunities that are in front of us. So that's how I'm taking it. I'm studying harder than I've ever studied about the market, about the techniques, about my sales abilities, about my marketing. Everything is on a high level right now for me, and because I know that this is the big game that we're stepping into. So whether it goes up, down, left, right, or whatever, we're going to be here and processing through it.
Awesome. Great ad, Eric. And I'll tell you, I know we're going to wrap up here in a second. And with this being titled, Hey, Positive, and how do we manage through Corona and help family and friends and even our community. I love seeing the outreach and people doing charitable work and helping their neighbors. And even like my mom's a nurse my whole life, and the medical community, I just can't say enough, these 12 hours, and they're talking about how they're burnt out in certain areas. And they're even saying, hey, any retired people or anyone with medical, even if your license is expired, come help out as a volunteer. And I'm just like, man, I love seeing the people get charged up, because another thing in that morning ritual I talked about is I'm grateful because, man, I've got, arms and legs and I can get up and function. I get inspired by a lot of people that were like born without an arm or a leg or both, even, that are doing big things out there. And I'm like, wow, if they can do it, I know I could do it. And what I'm coming to here to wrap up is fear. Why do a lot of people don't do anything or take action or just get freaked out by COVID? And yes, it's real. We know it's real. There's been a lot of people passing away, and God rest their souls. And I'm so upset or pissed off about it that I wish I could do more in finding the solution and get everyone, taken care of as far as that goes. But the mindset that needs to happen is just stay positive. You can control that. There's something I learned about the little voice in your head. I don't know if I'm the only one on this call or in the replay or the live do you have a little voice in your head that talks to you? Like, it might be all day long or just once an hour, but I know I do. And I got a choice between, do you listen to the positive voice or the negative one? And I'm like, well, I throw this one down here in the garbage and just constantly listen to the positive voice. And I'll tell you something, again, it takes work. I found something as I was cleaning the house again, some of my files. I was excited to share this from a conference I went to back in what year? Oh my gosh, I was still in diaper. No, I'm just kidding. So 1996, it was a big conference, with Zig Ziglar. I got to see him in person. But there's this page in there. I'm just going to show it as a quick visual. 3 paragraphs, and you literally repeat this. I call this, it's called Speaking Life into Yourself. And so every day, I, Jeff Fallon, I'm honest, intelligent, organized, responsible, committed, coachable, and loyal, clearly understanding, will work hard. You speak those kind of words into you, your life, or even your kids every single day. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have some powerful things go in the right direction for you and your world. Again, it's like NLP I talked about before, subliminal programming. You're pouring positive words into your brain versus the altar every single day. So I just wanted to mention, I didn't bring that up earlier. I have a couple other ones. I call it the Champion's Creed. That's literally, you hear about putting it through your, on your mirror or wherever you see every day, where you're shaving or doing your hair and makeup. I am a champion. I believe in myself. I have the will to win. Those type of fired up words you're speaking right into yourself every single day. And so now they become second nature, where I could just fire that off at any second of the day, especially before I go up to speak or live or something like that. It's just like, All right, let's get ready. It's energy. Some of that Anthony Robbins stuff I learned from Anthony. He said, learning takes energy, so you better bring the energy 100%, period. So I just want to add that in before we get cut off and our time's expired here.
Oh, man. That's good. That's good. I agree. It's all about your energy and how you control that and manifest that and everything in every which way, man. And you're right about that little voice. I know all about that little voice, and you know what? I have really learned to channel that little voice to be, the power, the wind to my back and everything else. So that is the subconscious mind, my friend.
Yeah, we all get to choose. That's one of the biggest things my mentors always told me. That thanks for having us here, you guys. Feel free to reach out to Jeff if you guys ever need anything in regards to real estate, marketing, how we work. He handles all of that. And where can people find you other than Facebook? Where's the best place that people can connect with you?
You're muted.
Oops, here you go. Sorry.
That's okay. No problem. Well, I run a company. It's called YouAreCEO.com. YouAreCEO.com. And just came up with that because you are the CEO of your life, your future, et cetera, your business. And it's got some information. I do private consulting one-on-one with people, all over the world, because again, the technology we have, that's one cool thing about the Corona is, thank God for the technology that is in front of us, because, 10, 20 years, whatever, ago, we wouldn't be so fortunate. And I'll tell you, it's been great to see family hangouts even, or business hangouts. And it's awesome. So I think that's fantastic that we even have these tools at our fingertips. And in real estate, we're still doing deals. We can do virtual tours. We can do DocuSigns. We can do a lot of stuff through email and Google. And so leverage those tools and technology. I know here at Refs, we have vetted some of the best vendors from literally the beginning of a purchase all the way till the finish of a rehab or wholesale and sale. So nothing really needs to, quote unquote, slow down. Of course, we're 100% aware and sensitive to the world situation, as we mentioned already, but it's go time. It's still work, and I'm not going to rely on the government for $1,000 or whatever amount of money every month and how long that's going to last. I know I've got to produce a certain result to, quote unquote, pay the bills and achieve certain goals that I have. And I know you guys all have goals yourself. So I'm going to encourage you to stay downright productive. If not, work with even further urgency and putting those goals and, vision boards, whatever, again, works for you. Put it into high-level action, and if you need someone to, spark the fire every 2 weeks, let's have a call, whether it's through the ref system or, on a different level. That's no problem. But one of the things I'm excited about, once we are out of lockdown mode, is one of the things that we offer here at Refs is customized personal coaching, where myself or Eric, maybe even both of us, depending on the package, will come out to you where you're at in your office, and you want to talk about high-level peak performance coaching. We're going to see how you operate from literally when you walk into the office to when you leave, and we're going to shadow you probably the first couple hours and pick apart, ask questions, and then, of course, implement our systems that produce high results. And it is like night and day as far as the people we've done that with. And I've been fortunate enough to be part of Shark Tank panels across different business platforms. And so I get to hear a lot of pitches and different people and promoting and sharing. And so we sometimes work on skill sets of that nature. It might not just be your back office business systems. And so it's pretty cool what we can do with a professional or an individual investor to take their business to the next level, no matter what you did last year or the year before. And again, I know the curveball that's among us right now, but I definitely think positive that we're going to come out, we're all in it together, and we're going to, quote unquote, be even bigger and better than we were before, is the bottom line.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, real quick on just before we jump off on a resourceful note, for those of you that are in the group and are struggling with your financing right now, as far as you're getting hard money loan backing out, if you need more leverage, if you need to create a different financial structure right now. I have a couple lenders that are doing really good things even in today's market. So just raise your hand, reach out to me. I've got a couple lenders that I would highly recommend that are helping my clients big time right now in today's climate. So this is where this is one of the most important things that you unlock to really survive and thrive here in these times, is make sure that you get the right leverage in place and create the right capital access to capital. So anyways, just a side note, I want to put that out there for anybody, and just simply raise your hand, DM me, and we'll hook you up.
And Eric, I just want to give you some props, because something you said as we sign off here is that you've kicked it into a whole nother gear in your training. And here you are, again, 20 plus years in real estate and incredible accomplishments across the board, left and right, up and down in that whole resume that's in your background. And again, I'm honored to work with you. And here's a guy that's putting in the time to elevate his game during our lockdown situation. And so it reminds me of some of the resources, and we all say that, oh, I'll get to it when I have time. Well, everybody has time now. So make the best use of it. And that's why I talk about goal setting. And even I do 2 different trainings on time management, where I take it to the next level on dialing in and making the most of your 10 or 12-hour days, just like any high-level Fortune 100 CEO. I mean, you run your business, and I'm really firm and play a pretty strong arm on people that come up with excuses or reasons on why things don't happen, or, blame game or whatever. It comes down to who you see in the mirror. And so I just want to mention that, because, to gain any kind of skill, they say it takes 10,000 hours or 10,000 attempts to really master something. And I agree. I've done a lot of that with martial arts to perfect certain different moves, whether it's, with weapons or self-defense, but training. Here, we offer a free resource guide. I mean, my gosh, if anything, and you need an extra hour or 2 to kill, download that. I know Stacia has the link to it. I learned a couple things out of our own resource guide. It's awesome.
Yeah, we put time into it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
amongst any, we got a lot of cool things, but I just want to mention because I had it laying right here. But anyways, all right, you guys, well, thank you so much for, again, your time and attention.
Yeah.
Yes, make sure to join the Facebook group. The link will be in the description or right here if you're watching on YouTube, and you will be able to get access to that. If you're in the group right now, check the files section right now. I just actually uploaded it a few hours ago. So I want to make sure everybody in the group has it. It's definitely a resource that you want. And it's the time. We all have the time to go set it up. And if you need help with any of it, implementation, you know where to find us.
Yeah, leave a comment below. We want to know what you do to stay positive. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hey, I look forward to seeing. I know I saw a lot of familiar names and get invited, and some colleagues. And man, when we're able to do some live events, if it's later this year, I look forward to seeing some people live, and man, giving some people a good little man hug, if you will. I'm sick of social distancing. No.
I know, right? All right, guys. We'll see everybody soon.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.